Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, what you're looking at right there is what's called a honeymoon. A honeymoon. No, not a honeymoon after you get married, but I'm talking about a honeymoon that actually has this color that's more of an amber color that looks more like the color of honey. The reason it is this color is because of the reflections from the sun. Now, this is a very rare event. It only happens an average of about every 14.3 years. Although we won't see this again until August of 2049. So, okay, today is Friday the 13th. Also, we know that. And also, and I don't care. I mean, some folks are scared of black cats and they won't walk underneath a ladder, and they turn around if they see a black cat and all that. I'm not into any superstitions at all because I go by the Word of God. I don't get up in the morning. I don't read my horoscope to see what kind of day I'm going to have. I open the Bible to find out what kind of day, life, and destiny I have. Can somebody help me preach? But anyway, this is a honeymoon, what you're looking at there. And today is Friday the 13th. It's also the earth is going to be hit with shockwaves from those 3 X-class solar flares that happened on June 10th, earlier this week. Back on Tuesday, we're going to feel the full brunt of those today on this Friday the 13th. But also, we're going to witness a honeymoon. Now, actually, it was already began at about 11 minutes after midnight this morning, which still was the 13th of June. And it will also happen again tonight. You'll be able to see it. Matter of fact, it'll be in its fullest venue. Today's full moon might be, according to space.com, very, very rare. They like to say spooky. I don't think it's spooky at all. But the moon officially turns full, and it did, at 12:11 a.m. Eastern on Friday the 13th. Stargazers captured some amazing photos of the rare sight. The Friday the 13th full moon will not rise again for another 35 years. The amber-colored moon also probably looked full last night, but the moon really will be completely full tonight, folks. And you'll be able to see it tonight if you have a clear. Now, I can tell you, here in Indiana, as the sun was setting, the entire sky toward the west turned a beautiful pink, a beautiful dark pink. It was an incredible sunset, and it was because it was preparing for the honeymoon. So this is what's happening today, a very rare day that you're having a honeymoon. We won't see another honeymoon for 35 years, not to the year 2049. And it happens that this honeymoon is going to be appearing before us today on Friday the 13th, on the same day that the sun released 3 major X-class solar flares, an X-class 2.2, an X-class 2.1, and an X-class 2.05. And those CMEs are going to hit the Earth today in what NASA calls shockwaves. So we're getting a little shock and awe today, folks. Are you serious? Is there something biblical going on here? Because remember what the Bible said. The Bible told us there'd be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and distress of nations with perplexity. And I'm telling you now, men's hearts are going to fail them for fear, for looking after things that's coming upon the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. But then he told us to lift up our heads and look up, for your redemption's drawing nigh. Why? Because then you shall see the sign of the Son of Man coming in the clouds with power and great glory. And when you begin to see these things come to pass, he said, look up, lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Now, God actually created the moon and the sun and the stars, not just to give us light during the day and a lesser light at night, but also to show us signs of the times. And I can prove it to you right in the book of Genesis, the very first chapter, when you read about the creation. If you go to verse 14, this is what the word says. This is Genesis 1:14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years. And let them be for the lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. So when God created the sun, the moon, the stars, when he created the lights, he didn't just create them so you can see things. He also already had in mind his end time signs, and to show you the seasons that we live in, the apocalyptic signs of the return of his son, Jesus Christ. I'll be right back with some current world events and how it relates to Bible prophecy and the powerful Word of God.